My name is Hannah, and I'm in my first year in the MFA program at the School of Visual Arts, and this is my body of work called Openings. I started this project in my first semester here, and I have a background in drawing, and that's the work I'd been doing previously. So this is very new to me. I haven't really worked like this before, but I think the roots of it are in kind of drawing and painting. And I have done some fiber arts work in the past, and it's definitely something that my family, my mother and my grandmother, my great-grandmother have all been really interested in sewing and textile work and those kinds of traditions. So that's something I've been thinking about a lot as I've been working. Almost all of the clothing here is my own. I've started, just because of running out of supply, I've started using clothing that people have given me, either like family members or friends, but it's still all people that I know and people that I'm close to. And when I was working with my own clothing, I was struggling because I was trying to think of them in terms of their visual qualities, thinking about their color and texture, but I was also getting wrapped up in the memories and feeling really attached to them. They're important in the sense that I wore them, and when I look at them, I remember what was happening when I wore them. I remember like why some of them have holes or stains. But that is something that I guess is specific to me as the artist. And I think in terms of them being reflections, when somebody who didn't wear this clothing looks at them, you still kind of feel that memory even if you don't have the specific experience. There's a sense of intimacy and nostalgia that comes from looking at someone else's clothing, and you can kind of feel yourself reflected back as you look at it. Sometimes the things that I read can inform my artwork in ways that I didn't really intend. And I also really like to read poetry. I love Yvonne Boland, Anne Carson, and Mary Oliver I love too. And I most recently read this series of books by Octavia Butler called the Xenogenesis trilogy, that are a kind of a science fiction feminist trilogy about like a post-apocalyptic world. So that doesn't like figure directly into my art making, but that's definitely what I was thinking about while I was making a lot of these pieces. And I also sometimes like to use lines from literature for the titles of my pieces, because that is a kind of concrete way of me bringing the literature into my work, because these pieces are relatively formal, so it is a nice way for me to kind of bring that other kind of experience in.